Graham Ross here to show you how to install leaf stopper on the gutter edge of a tile roof.
The ski slope system gives leaves a better chance to blow away naturally, meaning less work for you. There are many different profiles and sizes of tiles, so the complexity can vary. Generally, tiles with a higher profile can be a little bit more challenging than low profiles. However, the installation principle is still the same. Your do-it-yourself leaf stopper kit will include a roll of 500mm wide mesh, as well as trimettes and screws to fasten the mesh to the gutter edge. You will need to specify whether you want the standard 4mm diamond mesh, the most common choice and suitable for most general purposes, or whether you prefer the 1.8mm fine mesh, which can be used as protection against embers and small leaves. Remember, before you start, for the best result, thoroughly clean out your gutters, and always keep safety top of mind. Accidents can be caused while working on heights on ladders, trestles and roofs. We urge you to take care at all times, making sure your ladder or platform is firmly secured, and to use a harness if working from the roof. Only work on the roof when it's dry and use footwear with good grip. We begin by rolling out the mesh and cutting to length. The gutter edge installation requires 2 steps. First, we will fasten the mesh to the gutter edge using the trimettes. And second, we will tuck the back of the mesh under the tiles. We begin step 1 by snipping the tab off the first trimette that we will be starting with. When facing the home, install the trimettes from left to right. Sandwich the mesh between the gutter lip and trimette, always making sure that mesh is well over the lip and that the trimette has a firm hold of the mesh. The trimettes have been designed to space your screws at the recommended 250mm apart. Anything more than this could allow the mesh to pull away from between the screws. The pre-punched holes and tongue and slot connection give you a professional and consistent result. In some situations, a flat trim may be more appropriate than the 90-degree trimette if the surface you are attaching to is flat. The flat trim can be used as a workaround when there is no other solution. Gutters come in various types, but the trimettes should fit on almost any standard gutter, whether it be flat on top or rounded like a quad gutter. With the gutter edge now completed, it's time for the second step, which is to secure the back of the mesh under the tile. If the start of your tile run begins with a hip that is cemented, you'll not be able to lift the first tile. So proceed to cut the mesh in order for it to sit firmly below the second row tile and up against the hip cement. And we will secure it with silicone at the end. Careful not to cut the mesh too short, or it will be difficult to seal it with silicone. It's always better to cut rough first and then trim as needed. Let's watch that again, but this time off a ladder. Next, if the mesh is too wide, you might have to trim it back. Otherwise, it is difficult to tuck the mesh under the tile. Leaf stopper mesh does not stretch, so to cater for this, we make expansion cuts which allow for the second row of tiles to sit on top of the mesh without causing it to tear. Ideally, the cuts should be around the rib sections because this is the area the mesh will receive the most pressure. Start with the first tile that can be easily lifted and continue tucking the mesh under the tiles. Watch carefully to see how the installer goes about this process. To finish off your installation, you might need to silicone around the tiles and hips, which are cemented and where the first tile cannot be lifted. Use either screws if the cement is soft or galvanised nails to hold the mesh down in preparation for silicone. Spread the silicone liberally so that it sticks the mesh to the cement and stops leaves from entering. Due to the variations between your roof and gutter height, leaf stopper mesh may need to curve around the tile more or less depending on your situation. That completes the tile gutter edge installation. Remember to watch our video on how to install leaf stopper on tile valleys. We hope you enjoy the protection leaf stopper will provide you.
Look, with leaf stopper, you can do it yourself, that's great, but if you're flat out busy like me, get the professionals to install it for you. I'm thrilled with mine, have been for years, and I know you will be as well. Leaf stopper, your home today.